Hi everyone, my name is SJenkins, and today I'm going to be giving a comparison between the companies Ford and Tesla. So here's an outline of what I'm going to be talking about today in my presentation. I'm going to start off by talking about a value discipline that each company adheres to the most. Then I'm going to talk about the primary customers of each company. Then I'm going to talk about how each company builds relationships with these customers and loyalty with them as well. I'm also going to talk about how each company uses big data to market, and then also pick a key event that had to do with digital transformation for each company. I'll also talk about digital maturity relating to each company's organizational culture. And lastly, I'll talk about how each company uses analytics for personnel decisions. So value discipline. Of the three value disciplines, the one that Ford adheres to the most is operational excellence. Operational excellence is providing customers with reliable products or services at competitive prices delivered with minimal difficulty or inconvenience. Ford has been rated the #1 owner loyalty brand in the automotive industry for some time now. This means that they are delivering high-quality cars to their customers to make them want to buy another Ford, or when their lease is up, they can lease another Ford. The value discipline that Tesla adheres to the most is product leadership. Product leadership is about consistently striving to provide your customers with leading-edge products or useful applications of existing products or services. Tesla is the only auto manufacturer that only sells electric cars and not any cars that take gasoline. This is a very innovative concept, and Tesla is leading the way on it. So primary customers. For demographics for Ford is typically trying to target millennials nowadays. Millennials have always been slow to do things such as buying a car, having kids, and buying a home. They held off on these things because of student debt and a tight job market. Ford has since found that things are looking better on those fronts, and they're starting to buy cars and things like that. Ford is also starting to focus on selling more SUVs, which is suitable for families, and that'll now target millennials because they're starting to have more families. Ford also targets people with average household incomes. They're not a luxury brand, so they basically have a car somewhere in their lineup that anybody can afford. So for psychographics for Ford typically looks for people that just have a desire for a dependable, economical car. For example, whenever the Ford Pinto came out years ago, the original advertising plan for it was painting the car as something carefree and romantic. They found that most people buying this car and all their other cars just wanted something practical, so they shifted their advertising focus to make sure that their customers knew that their cars were dependable and economic. For Tesla, demographics that they look for are the age range about 30 to 60, and they typically look at upper middle class families that have household incomes of $80,000 plus per year. And they also look at people who have a concern for gas consumption since they have electric cars, and they also look for people that look for good economic value in their cars. They also look for people who desire to have an affordable luxury car with high safety value. Customer loyalty. Ford and Tesla both have their own ways of creating loyalty with their customers. Ford has done several things in recent years to improve experiences with customers. They've redesigned their call centers and pilot programs for a mobile service network. They've made lease renewals easier. They've added new types of showrooms for customers as well. Ford has also doubled their spending on customer loyalty to try and compete with rivals such as Toyota. The biggest thing that Ford has done regarding customer loyalty is the Ford Pass Rewards program. This is an app-based loyalty program that awards points for spending money on vehicle maintenance. Anyone who downloads the app and connects it to a new vehicle will get 42,000 points, which is about a $210 value. This value can pay for 3 oil and air filter changes. If a customer purchases a pre-owned Ford, they will get 11,000 points. Customers can then earn 5% for every dollar spent on vehicle maintenance and can bank these points toward their next vehicle purchase including buying or leasing a vehicle. All of these things have helped Ford become the number one owner loyalty brand, as I stated earlier. Tesla has done several things to increase customer loyalty. Customers are very satisfied with the quality of their vehicles. They received the highest satisfaction score in the Consumer Reports annual survey for one of their cars. Tesla has also done something very similar to Apple, that being they were able to make their competitors out to be an enemy in the minds of the consumer. Apple targeted Microsoft as a foe while selling themselves as the anti-PC solution. Tesla's enemies are vehicles with internal combustion engines and big automakers. Tesla's been able to offer consumers something different, just like Apple was able to do, and has created very loyal customers in the meantime. They've also created loyalty about opposing the decades-old auto dealership model of selling cars. Tesla's picked up many loyal supporters by selling cars directly to consumers through their own company-owned retail stores. Both companies have also used big data to their advantage to market. Ford opened a lab in Silicon Valley to help improve their cars with big data. Ford gathers data from over 4 million cars with in-car sensors and remote application management software. All of this software gives engineers in Silicon Valley valuable information that will help them solve issues in real time, know how the car responds in different road and weather conditions, and any other forces that could affect the car. Ford also uses big data to see how customers want their cars to be improved. They gather this data from social networks and other online blogs. They also perform sentiment analysis on all sorts of online content and use Google Trends to predict future sales. Tesla was the first car company to use big data to their advantage. In October 2014, they offered a new technology package with their vehicles for an additional $4,250. This package included cameras and sensors that warned drivers about collisions before they happened. The customer didn't realize that Tesla was actually gathering data from these sensors as well. They began to use this data to respond to customers' issues with their cars. For example, in October 2015, they sent out to all of their sedans an over-the-air update, which allowed for the sedans to be able to drive themselves. They also sent out another over-the-air update when they found a problem with their cars overheating. There was no need for human intervention in this. They didn't have to bring in their car to the dealership to solve these problems. Just sending out these updates to solve them. So a key event for Ford regarding digital transformation was a $4 billion investment in the self-driving business unit. This happened last year. It's going to be called Ford Autonomous Vehicles LLC. And this segment will house all of Ford's autonomous driving efforts going forward. This will include engineering and systems integration, business strategy, and fleet management. This will be based in Detroit, very close to the company's headquarters, and be led by Sheriff Markaby, a longtime executive who has been with both Ford and Uber's autonomous driving efforts. A key event for Tesla happened recently. It had to do with their debut of the Cybertruck. Tesla recently came out with the first ever electric truck. They're hoping that this truck will be able to compete with Ford's F-150 eventually. All the other auto companies understand that electrification is the future and are going to soon be launching their own electric trucks to compete with Tesla. Ford has said they're currently working on an electric model of the F-150, and GM plans to launch an all-electric truck in 2021. So digital maturity relating to organizational culture. Ford has recently decided to invest $11 billion in the corporate restructuring for digital maturity. They are hoping that this will help fortify its revenue through new products and services when individual vehicle sales slow, which is expected to happen by 2030. This restructuring includes things such as ride-sharing services, investments in electric vehicles, and also autonomous vehicles. There are a few things that Tesla has done to organize their company for digital maturity. Instead of being functionally divided and hierarchical, the company is organized around small, agile, empowered teams that comprise a program executive who ensures cross-product integration, product owner who is responsible for architectural definition, customer success criteria, and feature resource needs. There are also feature developers and end-to-end quality engineers. There is no legacy structure to constrain this, so Tesla has organized itself for innovation. Lastly, both companies have used analytics for personnel decisions. Ford uses analytics for personnel decisions by employing people scientists or talent analytics. These people scientists launch pre-hire assessments that are predictive and fair, as well as highly engaging and informative. They also use analytics to evaluate talent diversity and prototype solutions to enhance pipelines and candidate pools. Tesla has also used analytics for personnel decisions when it came to their employee referral program. They decided to use their referral program as a rich data set that could be mined for meaningful trends. When analyzing data, they found that referred employees tend to stay longer, and something counterintuitive that they found was that employees doing the referring also tend to stay longer. This analysis will play a big role in deciding who to hire at Tesla. They will now be more likely to hire someone who has been referred over somebody who has not been referred. So that's the end of my presentation on Ford and Tesla using my references. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good day.